It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It's Friday.
Whoop, whoop, I think.
You're having a Monday.
I've got a lot of glitches going on this morning.
Did somebody rewire the whole system here?
Something's going on because I've got nothing but glitches this morning. So bear with us, folks. I'm not even sure that the intro had sound anymore.
Very interesting. It is Friday, August 9th, 2019 at 7 a.m. Welcome to Down on the Corner program, where Scott Callis is currently pulling his hair out, trying to figure out what's going on.
Hey,
here.
We're going to have a good show one way or another. It may not go quite as smooth as most of them, but
we may have to draw pictures and tell you about it.
It'll work. It'll work. Today's going to be a good day.
Do you think we should have turned my phone on to see if I've even got audio on Facebook?
No, I know we got the audio on the voice. I just didn't hear the opening going through or anything.
So, how you been?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for asking. Down to the wires, like 90 seconds.
He's sitting, what on earth is going on with these cameras? You got plenty of time. You got 4 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got 2 camera angles. We got glitches. This is going to be fun.
I love that shot you took of the lampshade over here. Anyway, Down on the Corner is brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town with 3 locations to serve you. Balmer Boulevard, and then we got 62 East Plaza, and of course Baxter Regional Medical Center. Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Check out any of the 3 locations. Mike and staff do a fantastic job, but can't get it in Illinois. You know, I'm starting this rumor. You can't get it. Gives you so much energy, they'll tax it.
You know how many Illinoisans are getting mad at you right now saying, I know.
That's why then later I'll promote retire to Arkansas and get them down here. That way they can have good coffee with no taxes.
Illinoisans, or what do you call them?
Oh, I guess Illinoisans.
Because we use Arkansans.
Arkansans, yeah.
So Illinoisans?
I reckon.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, Brood Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Check out all 3 locations: Baxter Regional Medical Center, 62 East Plaza, and Balmer Boulevard. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas brings in morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, right here in Mountain Home. Talk to Brad, Charlotte, Bruce, Chris. Very professional, caring, loving, and they know what's going on. And how they do it so well, I don't know, but they do it very, very well. You know, went through it back in November. And, wow, what a team they have out there. 29 roller funeral homes in the state of Arkansas, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, well, it looks like we have a monkey see, monkey do situation as a gunman comes into a Walmart in Springfield, Missouri. Now people will start being afraid to go to Walmart. And we constantly pray for our school safety because of all those attacks. So my question is, why are we still so violent? Video games, movies, television, mixing that a little bit of drugs? Surely not. No matter what, evil is evil. In California, a man stabs 4 people. Do we need laws on knives? Do we ban them? Lord, heal our nation. Let us be happy again with no fears. That's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
There you go. And now,
do we attempt this or not? We've all the stuff we had with the cameras and the sound.
Now the microphone's about to break. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh boy,
the weather. Don't ask me.
Shall we try take 2 on that one?
No, we should not. One was bad enough. I'm sorry, folks.
Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda's the door for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. It's time to look at the White River. It's time to look at the White River.
I was debating which shot I wanted to put on there. A
little bit of fog over the river. You can see the bridge on the left side of the screen, City of Cotter. You can see the little park, the baseball park there, along with the Railroad Museum area right there. The beautiful White River. Cameras in Marion County looking into Baxter County, Arkansas. Nice little town, Cotter, Arkansas. Very nice, good folks over there. And that's brought to you by the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. When you list your home to be sold with the Z Team, Linda is a professional stager, and she can set your home up for that certain eye appeal. And they sell some homes. They've got the awards to prove it, from the sales, the customer service, the public relations work. They are your professional real estate team. Bob and Linda Zadora. The Z Team, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. Check it out at retiretoarkansas.net. Challenge a couple of my friends up there getting ready to retire in Southern Illinois. Come on down. Check out retiretoarkansas.net. They can help you get property in Arkansas, Missouri, and they've got you covered. 405-0793 is the number, retiretoarkansas.net. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Right now, I've got 71 degrees. Now get a load of this. 71 in Mountain Home, Flippin, Harrison, Yellville, Salem, and Calico Rock.
There you go.
Wow. 73 at Mountain View, 72 in St. Louis, 75 at Poplar Bluff, Missouri, 71 at West Plains, 70 in Branson. And it's not that far off from Watford City. They're at 59 this morning up in North Dakota. All right, did we get rain last night? Did you get rain last night?
We got some rain last night.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Shower activity all through the country. Let's start in the northwest part. Oregon, Idaho, Montana, over into the Dakotas, stretches down into Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, a little bit in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, some in Arkansas, and then east of Mississippi, not much going on there. Maybe a little bit trails over into Tennessee, and maybe a little in Southern Illinois. So anyway, ready for that Little Rock stop?
Yep.
Okay. Got shower activity from Fayetteville to Little Rock on I-40, Little Rock to Texarkana on I-30, and then we got I-40 east to Memphis. Shower activity there stretching all the way up to the Missouri-Arkansas state line, east of Mountain Home from West Plains all the way down through to about, it'll be all the way back down to about Heber Springs. So scattered showers throughout the state right now, affecting most highways. The highway not affected right now is 62-412 west. It's dry all the way to the Oklahoma line, but other than that, everything else is pretty wet. Well, 65, I should say Highway 65 to Branson in good shape right now. Highways affected right now, 62-412 east, Highway 63 going up into West Plains, Missouri. Interstate 40, 30, 49. Yeah, 49's got some flood watches on it there. And so Interstate 30, 40, 49 are affected right now. Interstate 55, not too bad, nor is 555, the new interstate over there around Jonesboro. That's an interesting pattern. You've got it from Fayetteville to Little Rock, almost to Memphis, and then you've got it north up to Jonesboro.
It's like a V pattern.
Yeah, almost a 90-degree angle here. Nothing in Mountain Home all the way back in the northern tier counties. Very interesting. We'll take a look at the St. Louis radar. Not much going on there. See some showers north of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. That's affecting Highway 67 going up that way. I-44 Rolla to St. Louis in good shape. I-70 Jefferson City to St. Louis, no problems there. On over to Vandalia and Effingham, Illinois, and I-70. East St. Louis, Illinois on I-64, no problems there. You see I-24 at 57 Junction just southeast of Carbondale, Illinois. Possibly some light showers on Interstate 55 west of Sykeston. That shower trails over from Poplar Bluff. Southwest Missouri, going to pick up a little more in southwest to hit that Springfield stop. You see the shower activity stretching back over near Tulsa, Oklahoma across the state line there. Other than that, not too bad. Joplin, Springfield picking up just a little bit. And you see Mountain Home and West Plains with showers to our east from Fulton County north. And other than that, no problems. I-44, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, Rolla, and Kansas City, I-70 across the northern part of the state in pretty good shape right there. How's that?
There you go. Rip right through.
There you go. A little bit of a flash flood warning in west central Arkansas around the Fort Smith area. Some fog in southwest Missouri. And then they've got several different colors here. They've got lime green, light green, dark green, and red, but it's all about flooding. So in northeast Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, and northwest Arkansas, there's some flooding issues. So just be careful. If a low-water bridge has got a little bit of water on it, be careful. The orange indicates some heat advisories in southern Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, southern Arkansas, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Ha! Where Caleb's out filming the movie right now, they got a heat advisory. Ooh, wow. All right, 7-day forecast. 70% chance of thunderstorms likely today. High of 85, low of 71. 30% chance tonight. Wow, 50% now on Saturday with a high of 87, low of 73. Saturday night, 20% chance. Carries through to a 30% chance on Sunday, high of 94. And then partly cloudy Sunday night, low of 75. Monday, here comes the heat. Turn on the oven. Ooh, 95 degrees on Monday and Tuesday.
Ooh.
We gonna be cooking because you know that humidity ain't going away anytime soon. See what they say in the extended down here. That goes through what, Monday, Tuesday, and let's see. Well, now they're saying Wednesday a high of 87 after we have that high around 95. Anyway, it's August in Arkansas, so here we go. Wow. And checking iDrive Arkansas. I better refresh that. Is that looking right? I guess it is. Let's refresh that, shall we? There we go. Have an accident apparently on I-49. We have an accident on exit 45 southbound on I-49 in Washington County. And other than that, everything's normal. I mean, we've got the usual culvert and washouts from the flooding going back in the spring. Before you travel, check iDrive Arkansas. You can check your border states, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. Speaking of Missouri, we'll take a look there. Everything seems to be in good shape there. They're still doing some paving work on Highway 142 from Bakersfield towards Donovan, Missouri there. And the flooding issue in I-29 is not a problem, and I-70 is open, so things are good, right?
There you go.
There you go. Allergy sufferers today. Wow, look at this, 0.9.
Tomorrow it jumps up, though.
Boy, it does. 5.5 tomorrow. Right now, ragweed, chinnopods, and nettle are your culprits. And 0.9 tomorrow, 5.5 a medium. And so, with our sympathies, allergy sufferers. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. For all your real estate needs, take another peek at that White River.
There it is.
Yeah, it's clearing a little bit. The beautiful White River brought to you by the Z-Team. For all your real estate needs, Bob and Linda Zadora, 870-405-0793, retireToArkansas.net. Community Counter Time brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home, Monday through Friday.
Hey, did you know we were closed?
Did I know you were closed? No.
You didn't know we were closed this week?
I'm just going through withdrawal symptoms here.
Yeah, for those that don't know.
No chicken fried steak, no open-faced turkey, no meatloaf.
I'm just trying to give you something to whine about. I mean, you're going to whine. I want to control what you're going to whine about.
Out there with my picket sign, I protest.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Old Time Restaurant is closed this week. We're doing some remodeling and some cleaning and
vacation for the staff, which
vacation
is good.
For the staff.
We'll let you get by with that one.
We will be open on Monday, ready to go.
Hallelujah.
And rocking and rolling.
There you go.
Everybody be rejuvenized.
Came in this morning and said, well, wonder where I can eat breakfast tomorrow. He says, I can tell you where you can't. Community Calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11. The Holy Cross Annual Garage Sale and Lunch takes place August 9th from 8 until 2. It's August 9th and 10th. That's today and tomorrow. Men of Holy Cross Lutheran Church Annual Garage Sale and Lunch served by women of ELCA, 11 to 1, August 9th and 10th for only $5. So I think that's east of town on the left side going east. Nice little church right there. Clark Ridge Volunteer Fire Department has their bake and yard sale. The community of Clark Ridge Children's Christmas Party Committee will be holding a bake and yard sale on Saturday, August 10th from 8 until 2 at the main fire station at 12101 Highway 201 North. Proceeds of the sale go towards purchase of gifts for Santa to distribute to the Clark Ridge children at the annual Children's Christmas Party. It'll be fun.
There you go.
And the potluck to be held December 7th from 2 to 4 at the same location. Wow, it's going to be fun. Once again, bacon yard sale August 10th, 8 until 2 tomorrow at the Clark Ridge Volunteer Fire Department at 12101 Highway 201 in Clark Ridge, Arkansas. And let's see if there's anything else. You got something, Scooter?
Just that OFA football, the teams have been divided up. So if you got a child that's playing 3rd to 6th grade, they've been divided up and given to the coaches, so the coaches should be contacting you shortly. If you missed the sign-ups and you are still interested, you can go on the website, Ozark Football, association.com or go on their Facebook page and get them registered while you can.
Sounds good. Community calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11. Coming up after the break, Flippin Public Schools. Going to be talking more school stuff with fine folks here from Flippin. And so, Scooter, take us to break. I'm almost out of coffee.
We will be
This is
right
getting
back.
serious.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care in Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Take a step back. It's 7:20. I want to introduce Tracie Luttrell and Kelvin Hudson of Flippin Public Schools. It's good to have you all.
Thanks for having us.
And we've been focusing on our schools all across the northern part of the state. We've got some great school districts.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, east to west, west to east. I mean, how do y'all do it? How do y'all do it?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the community that we live in. They're very supportive of our schools. We've got some great partnerships. It's nearly everybody knows everybody in the community.
Right.
So it's a shared responsibility throughout the community. And I don't think it's anything that we do on our own. We partner with our families, with our businesses, and in fact, that's what our staff are doing today. They're traveling around in the Flippin area and touring the various businesses and making those connections.
The old adage was when I was in school, of course it's been a long time ago, remember the proverbial note from the teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, if you got one of those, once Dad got home, you got the third round. Is that still a factor? Do you get the support from the parents like we did in the day? If you got in trouble at school, wait till Dad gets home from work.
I think that that has changed a little bit over time. You still have some of that. A lot of the news headlines and things across the nation have changed that. It seems to be people are maybe a little more suspicious of what might be going on. Get a lot more questions, but overall, our community is very supportive. Once we've had time to sit down and talk that through, but people they don't just immediately go to the school is right. We have to have those conversations, and they want to double check and make sure that they've got the story straight, and we're more than willing to do that.
In my situation, I would say the vast majority of parents are very, very supportive of school.
Good.
Something that it was the same way when I was in school.
Yeah.
Mom was a beautician, and she heard about everything before I ever got home, me or my brothers. But we didn't have social media like we do now.
Oh boy, yeah.
And where people, for the most part, I think people presume a positive intent.
Right.
But sometimes people get on those keyboards and start talking, and it's a venom that feeds.
But even
more
on my
negativity.
iPhone sitting over here, I can shoot a video and edit it in a matter of seconds, so you're not seeing the full picture.
Absolutely.
So you get half truth, quarter truth,
So like
maybe
you said,
no
once
truth.
you get a chance to talk to the parent,
Communicate.
99% of the time.
Communication's important. Something goes on, we try to be very proactive and get with the parent. Of course, there's always that fine line. A lot of times they're at work, and so we have to find a good time to get in touch with them. But we try to be proactive there and make sure we're communicating. And it's again, it goes back to it takes everybody to raise a child. It takes the whole community.
It does,
and we want to work together to do that.
Wes Henderson was here with some of the guys from Yellville, and I mentioned when I was in grade school from 64 to about 72, did you hear about Joe? Well, he brought gum to school. Not gum. Wrigley's of all things. That's like Chicago Cub gum, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Right. That's just
Gum.
society.
That was
as a whole.
go to the principal.
Right.
What do you deal with now?
Well, I think that.
I think he'd welcome gum.
Yeah, we definitely would welcome gum. And it's
You
just
probably don't have that situation. You don't have it that bad.
we don't, and we've seen that with
'Cause you got some good folks
we
in
went
there.
through a time with with cell phones, and it was the same thing. If
How do you
anybody was
handle
caught
that?
with a cell phone, and now it's everybody has their cell phone, and and they use them between classes at lunch before school, and nobody cares. It's
So what's the rule on cell phones in the schools here in Flippin?
we use them between classes,
Just
at
between-
lunchtime,
yeah.
before school, and there's teachers' discretion during the school day. Sometimes they'll use them in class. There's some apps that they can use in class where they'll have the kids get on their phone and they can take quizzes and stuff like that. So we incorporate them where we can, but we want them silenced, during the day, just because
That can be a big distraction.
It can be a big distraction.
In elementary, they never used to have cell phones, but now a lot of my elementary kids
Are you
have
getting
cell phones.
already?
No, they do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just tell them basically at school,
Shut them off.
shut them off and put them in your cubby. That way, if you need it at the babysitter's after school, that's fine, but we don't need them during school in elementary. So.
The answer on the English test is this.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Google is your friend. Yes.
So what else is going on at Flippin Public Schools? All good things, I hope.
Well, we like to hope that.
You've got some very fine campuses. There's some been nice improvements. I dropped off some DVDs maybe earlier this year,
It was
perhaps.
this
I
school
think,
year, yeah.
And wow,
Yeah.
We're beginning our third year in the new elementary building.
that's gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
We're
That's
very
nice.
blessed. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the older buildings we took down at the end of last year, in trying to make some improvements around campus. Obviously, we moved into the new building because a lot of that was for safety reasons. The old buildings had all exterior doors, so we moved into a building now that has limited entrances. All the classroom doors are inside the building. Have mag locks on that building, so it can be locked down with the push of a single button.
Well,
so
we've
that
come
was-
to that in Flippin, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and nothing specific had happened, but we just over time, just felt like with the changing in times, like we've been talking about, that it was better to be proactive and go ahead and make that move. And our taxpayers agreed. They voted.
That's good.
Voted for that millage increase overwhelmingly, and it's been a good.
So let's talk
change
about
for
the
us.
persona of kids. We can't just beat around the bush saying we're not. Everybody's vulnerable to a school shooting. And this is what we're talking. We're trying to avoid a disaster in any school. I don't care if it's in Arkansas, Missouri, whatever state it may be. What's the persona overall of the kids? Can you look at a kid that can you say, well, he may be a problem or she might be? How do you get inside their head to know what they're thinking? My uncle passed away several years ago, but he was the transportation man at Neelyville schools in southeast Missouri. And when he'd have to fill in on a bus route, he says, whenever that student gets on, give them a smile and say, how are you? Because that may be the only friendly face he's seen all day.
Yeah.
Or she, So is the mindset different in kids now as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago?
I was going to say before he can answer his in a second, but when we talked about the generation that you grew up in and
Yeah.
how the parents' expectations and society's
Yeah.
expectations. Now, I think it's even more important. We just a lot of times out of respect and fear did what we were supposed to do, and now I think something that our teachers do an amazing job of is forming connections and making having those
Yeah.
relationships, and those relationships are key. And so when you talk about knowing somebody,
Yeah.
when somebody's having an off day, Mr. Hudson, probably there's a few superintendents that drive a bus, but he's been driving a bus. He's starting a second year driving a bus, and I've got some kiddos that he is the highlight of their day. The bus driver is the highlight of the day.
Yeah.
And so forming those connections and knowing those kids really inside and out, what their family's like, what their moods are, how you can tell it when you look at a kid. That's knowing the children and having those relationships. I don't think that used to happen as much, but that's something that our staff at Flippin does an amazing job of, is making
That's
connections
good.
and forming those relationships. So they do know. I'm not saying that they would always know if something were going to happen, but forming those, having those connections and having those relationships, I think they are able to tell when somebody's having an off day and be able to talk to them and help them figure it out a little bit.
The better you know somebody, and when you build those relationships and make those connections, then you can tell if they're having a bad day. So it helps. I don't know that it's a cure-all, but it helps, and that's been a focus for us.
I got an uncle who's down in Conway area, and he was principal administration in Pulaski County schools, and he had a young man that was constantly being sent to the principal's office. And it was one time during the World Series era, October, something like that, and he had a portable TV in there with the World Series. I don't even know who was playing in the day. But the kid came in, Mr. Hoffman got to see, okay, what happened? Blah, 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 blah. Sit down right there. He let him sit there and watch the World Series about 15, 20 minutes. Says, "You doing better?" He said, "I think so. Go back to class."
Yeah.
The kid was fine.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes is some time. And of course, I was a principal at one time. And as a principal, more often than not, when a child came in having a situation going on, I would let them sit there. And by the time they sat for 5 minutes, we were able to talk and have a conversation. Where if I had tried to do that immediately when they walked in the door, emotions were still taking over.
Diffuse a little bit. Yeah.
Right. So a lot of times, and that's what we have to keep in mind, is that we're dealing with children. It's not the same thing as dealing with adults.
Do they bring the emotions from a bad situation at home? Is that a factor? Do you see that, Tracie?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, kids deal with more. I tell my teachers all the time, if you break it down and you hear all of the situations and some, home life situations, different people raising them different couch every night, you don't come ready to learn. You got to get you've got to get in the right headspace for school, and a lot of kids don't come ready to learn. That's why knowing those kids and having those relationships and understanding they may have slept on somebody's couch.
But then when they don't learn, they blame you.
Absolutely. Well, that's true. Society, right. The report card in the newspaper, they sure do. That's why, we got to work at it from all angles. But, that's...
And neither one of you got a gray hair.
Oh, don't look too close.
I'm sitting there thinking the biggest factor, the adults back then had, Elvis Presley wiggling around on Ed Sullivan and the length of the Beatles' hair when they came. Oh, the little old ladies. And my dad was a good old Southern Baptist. You ain't never going to wear your hair like that. Yeah, right. No, anything goes. Look how it's changed.
Well, they're just exposed to so much more. Like you say, the long hair was a concern years ago, and now they can pull up whatever on their cell phone. That's just, and there's so much more exposure there.
Wow.
That they've seen so much more and stuff that we weren't exposed to years ago.
Well, when you say how do you do it, you've got to love it. It's for kiddos.
You got to be called
it's not,
to do it.
You absolutely
you have to have a talent,
absolutely.
Tracie.
Absolutely.
We're in it to make a difference. Obviously, we're both from Flippin. Came back to Flippin to work in Flippin, and we did that to make a difference and make a change in our community, and because we see the connection between the school and the community itself,
But now your industry in Marion County is picking up quite a bit.
It is.
With the railroad spur going in, and once again, it's that Butterball or Tyson out there? Butterball right there, and then the other manufacturing going on. There's some good opportunities for people in the next 20, 25 years and longer.
There is, and that's that's something that we have to do, is make sure that we're turning out a product that is employable.
Right.
For those businesses, and as long as people move to the area and they find work and housing, the area will continue to grow, and we're well aware of our responsibility in helping out in that situation.
7:33, visiting with Tracie and Kelvin from Flippin Public Schools. Time for a break. Be right back. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Sure, all mowers cut grass, but only a Ferris mower with suspension technology can provide you with increased productivity, quality of cut, durability, and comfort. The caster wheels and cutting deck are connected to the frame beneath the suspension. This lets the deck follow the wheels as they move up and down in relation to the ground contours. Maintaining the distance between the deck and the ground results in a beautiful, consistent cut. Visit your local Ferris dealer to experience the difference suspension makes.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. There she is. Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension, handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right product.
When you need dirt,
7:37, continue our discussion with, Flippin Public Schools. You've got some notes here. What do we need to cover?
You want to talk about the CEP program?
That'll be, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead?
Well, sure, either way.
We've talked about education and kids coming to school ready to learn. One of the barriers that we discovered was some of our students weren't eating breakfast or lunch, and for various reasons. But one of the new programs that we've started this year is our community eligibility program. So our students will eat for free, and that's based on our number of directly certified kids, which is our kids that are on food stamps and homeless.
Is this breakfast and lunch?
Breakfast and lunch.
Wow.
Get a second chance at breakfast. So a lot of our kids come in just right at the start of the school day. So we're going to have a time when those kids, if they miss breakfast, they can go back and get breakfast. But I think it's going to be a good program. It'll remove one of those barriers that our students are facing, and everybody will kind of level the playing field, I guess, so to speak. So that's a new program for us that runs on about a 4-year cycle. So we'll have to recertify in 4 years, make sure that we still qualify for that. But we're excited about that. It's going to be a lot more work for our kitchen staff, but we're excited about it. They're doing a great thing for the community. It's going to save our parents a lot of money, and it's going to put food on the table for our students. So I think that's going to be a good program for us.
I remember there again. I go back. By 10:15, 10 o'clock, I'd be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have a lot of kids, especially in elementary, that what they had to do is they had to get to school and go to breakfast before the bell rang. And so I have students. The first bell rings at 7:45. Well, I have kids that are dropped off 7:43 all the way to 7:50, and they would come in and say, "Is it too late for breakfast?" Well, in most cases they were cleaning up, and we might have something left over, or give them a granola bar or something, and get them to class because they would be hungry. Well, this way we're building it into our schedule. The elementary school is going to take attendance, and we're all going to go up there, and we're going to do a morning message and some character focus, different things. But everybody's going to get the chance if they didn't eat. This will also give kids a good opportunity that arrive at 7:30. Instead of going up for breakfast, they can play and get the wiggles out and get more focused and ready to learn, and that way they will still get the opportunity to have breakfast, and that's really important, especially the gross motor in elementary. So
see, when I was in first grade, it was structured almost like 7th grade. sit down, be quiet, don't talk to, and you know, you're 6 years old, you know,
and your attention span is about 6 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, it's about a minute per age, and so we want them to get the wiggles out and get that gross motor so that they're focused and ready to learn, and then they get breakfast and move into.
But you know, even as an adult, I gotta put. Scooter says, "How do you eat this up?"
Yeah.
I don't want to get hungry during the show, so I get a little cup of oatmeal, and I may have a little bit more breakfast later.
Absolutely.
But it makes a big difference.
Right.
And so I can't imagine with kids getting there, say at 8 o'clock, and having to wait till maybe 11:30 for lunch.
Yeah.
And high school.
In some cases later than that.
Yeah,
really?
That's what I was gonna say. High school and middle school, their second chance is a little bit later.
Yeah.
But my kiddos start lunch at 11. So it's a little bit earlier for us. So their second chance breakfast is going to be just a little bit later once they have that first period in, and they've kind of got going in that direction.
So what's the student population at Flippin?
We finished the year at 858.
Really?
That's K-12. That doesn't include preschool. We've got about 80 in preschool.
That'll put you over 900.
And those are a combination of 3 and 4 year olds. So some of them are a year away from being in kindergarten. Some of them are 2 years away. We were as high as 865 last year, so our
good.
smallest classes are our upper level classes, seniors, juniors. And we've been bringing in about 70 into kindergarten each year. Yep. So we'll graduate somewhere between 45 and 55 a lot of times, and then bring in 70. So we're looking at about a plus 20 each year over the next 3 or 4 years. So we're looking at being up well over 900 as long as the jobs stay there and the housing stays there. And
well, with the job situation, it looks like it's go for Marion County. I think you've got a good.
Yeah. There's been
they
some
didn't
good
invest
things
all that money right there along the highway with the railroad and everything going on just for it to be there for 5 or 6 years and shut it down.
Yeah.
And what was it Wes was saying yesterday, that there's going to be a lot more rail traffic, I think, out of there? Have you heard anything about the railroad? Are they going to be hiring?
I know they're laying tracks, to bring it in, and that was, I'd heard that was pretty much had stopped the flow on the railroad there, but they were supposed to pick up traffic since they laid the new rail and they were able to use it at that junction. So I think there will be more railroad traffic for sure.
Wow. So that means more opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well. So what else? You've got a whole page of notes there, Tracie.
Well, I was you said let's talk about success, and there's lots of different ways we the Governor's RISE initiative, which is Reading Initiative for Student Excellence, that is going back to the science of reading, and going back to what are our holes, why are kids not reading on grade level by 3rd grade, and he's done a really good job of implementing this program and going back to the true science behind reading. They talk about fads and how curriculum changes and everybody goes with the new fad, whatever it is, but this is going back to the brass tacks. This is back to the science behind how kids learn to read. Do you learn to, when you're a baby, do you speak first or do you read first? You speak first. You hear from sound, and that's so that mama, dada, baba, those are the things that you start with sounds. And for a long time we've set it up where kids are learning sight words and they're memorizing things, but they're not learning to decode and read and get back down to the very basics. And so this is taking that back to that.
We had, in my elementary days, we had phonics.
Absolutely, and that's where we're going right back there.
Really?
Yes, right back. That's where you're probably, you have a much better foundation having started with phonics, because you need to start with the sounds first.
Well, and because you look at, like cat. Okay, realistic, it could be K-A-T or C-A-T.
Absolutely.
Okay, but then you look at church, C-H, and the C has and that's what they would teach. Who would have thought when you put a P and an H, it sounds like F?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's reasons for that. There's rules for that. And so for so long, we've taught it kind of on a memorization thing and sight rather than the rule. If you learn the rule, it can never fail you.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're going back to the phonics and those rules so that students can decode and read.
We had like an 80-page workbook. And phonics was just, we had spelling, reading, and phonics. And they would stage it to where the phonics worked in conjunction with the reading material at that time.
Yep, absolutely. So we started 17-18, my kindergarten and first grade teachers, 17-18 school year, my kindergarten and first grade teachers were trained, and so that's our foundation. Yeah. And then the next school year, 2nd grade through middle school were trained, and now all of our literacy teachers and our special ed teachers are trained in the science of reading, and so
I've never heard the science of reading, but that makes a lot of sense.
There is a science. It's not, it's not, they've done everything they could, the best they could, but even teachers, but you go back to the actual science behind it. It gives you the method, it gives you the rules, it gives you everything. So why deviate from that? It works.
And then look at Facebook. You get TO, TOO, and TWO.
Yeah. Yes. It is.
I want to go too. TWO. Yeah. No. It's OO.
Right. So we're going back to that, and our teachers have all been trained, and I think hopefully we're going to see a huge jump in our reading scores, and that's going to be a great positive for
kids. And the comprehension, reading
Absolutely.
comp.
Well, it's hard, and
that was hard for me.
Right.
I could read all day long. Well, what'd you read? I have no idea.
Right. Yep. Well, a lot of times that's what I'm saying. If it's based on sight or memorization, you're not going to remember because you didn't have to decode and understand those words, put them together. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. If it's just a sight thing, then you're not going to remember because you didn't really. You can read really, really fast. I have kids who can read a lot of words per minute, but they don't know what they read because they was based on sight, not actual reading. So, yeah, a lot of science behind it. Should have been a long time ago, but now there is for sure.
Wow. So what? I mean, how do you? I don't even know how to ask this question. But we have 7th, 8th, and 9th graders reading basically on a 3rd grade level,
we do.
Possibly.
We
so
do.
If they get that far with that level, how do you advance them in the later grades?
Well, at this time, we've got interventions in place for those students, and it's going back to those literacy teachers have been trained back to the science of reading. It's not, that's also a problem is that 7th, 8th, and on up, those teachers aren't ever trained to teach how to read. In the 3rd grade, they're supposed to be able to now read to learn instead of learn to read.
Yeah.
K2 is supposed to be where we teach them to read. So those teachers, they're not trained on how to go back and teach a kid how to read. But now through the RISE initiative, they have the science of reading. The lower grades had what was called RISE, and then the upper grades had what's called letters training. And so those teachers were trained in how to go back and remediate and train them how to read and how to decode, how to know the science behind it. So they are actually now having to teach them again how to read, as well as advance them again. A hard gig, but
Sure.
they're doing a great job of it. And it actually empowered those teachers in the older grades because all this time I don't know how to help them. I don't know what to do to help them. So we've given them the training through the governor's initiative, and they feel more confident in how to help those kids and remediate those kids.
Now, do you work with Johnny Key? Was this something that Johnny Key helped get going?
He did.
Education Commissioner?
Yes, absolutely. And, he even gave us, 2 years ago, there were a few schools that started early, and he gave the awards, and Johnny Key presented us with the award, and just our dyslexia program and everything, he'd worked with us on that too. And so he, when we got it, he said, "You've been doing this a long time." We are, but with actual science and help, the training and the support from the state through our co-op has been awesome.
And we've built in time into our middle school and high school schedules for teachers to go back and work with students on, you talk about remediation and interventions. Yes,
like a one-on-one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the older kids, we went back and looked at our schedule K-12 and built in time to meet the individual students' needs, whether that's math or language arts or reading, and we've tried to put some time in during the day where our teachers will actually, rather than students going together as a group to an English class, we'll try to group those students together that have like needs. And give the teachers some time to work with those students on specific skills. So,
yeah, they're all looking at actual student data and grouping them based on their needs, and that could be a plethora of grades at one time together. But they're actual targeting the skills that they're missing, so that it shores up that foundation.
Y'all got it going good down there, Flippin. Wow. 7:48. Need to take a quick break. Be right back.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
I was involved in a wreck on the interstate. A friend and I was rear-ended by a drunk driver, and I was in excruciating pain. I started the chiropractor care along with massage therapy, and it has totally transformed my world. With God's help and the help of them, I have totally got my life back together, and I'm free of pain medicine, and I'm so grateful that I am where I need to be today.
Are you ready for some football? Hometown TV is back with live football and the game of the week. Friday night, area high school football with announcer Bob Rechtenwald, bringing you the best in play-by-play. Visit hometowntv.net for schedule and show times. Plus, watch instant replay live from your mobile device, whether at the game or not, right here on K26 and XL7. If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Aerobic. You talk about putting the carrot in front of the horse's nose. You run the Old Time ad, and you're close.
Just to build excitement for next week.
No chicken fried steak this week, was it?
No, there wasn't.
I'm giving him a hard time. Hey, we're visiting with Flippin Public Schools, and some great initiatives. You still got a page full of notes, or did we get through everything you need to talk about?
Well, I was just going to say we've taken a bunch. We took 19 teachers this summer to PLC Institute.
To what?
PLC. It's Professional Learning Communities.
What's that?
And it's where teaching in isolation is not good. All teachers have strengths. All teachers have talents. And for so long, we've gone to classrooms and we've shut doors, and we've taught the way we know to teach. And we've gone into a time where teachers are being able to, like you said, getting that time in the schedule for them to collaborate and look at student data and say, that you go through this process of what do we want students to learn, how do we know if they've learned it, what do we do if they don't know it, and what do we do if they already know. And every single decision in the classroom is based on those 4 questions. And so the teachers are working together to determine what is essential for a student to know. Their standards are vast. And so to be able to cover every single one of those to a depth of learning is really difficult in a school year. But if you pick the ones that are essential, if a first grade teacher says these are the things that they cannot leave first grade without knowing, or a 7th grade teacher says these are the things that they will not be successful in 8th grade if they don't already know, then those are your hills to die on. And those are the things that the teachers come together and they say, what are we going to do to get these kids to know these things to a deep level? And then the other things, there's things that are good to know, there are things that are important to know, and there are things that are essential. And so that professional learning community is what we are. We're a community of professional learners, our adult learners that are teaching our student learners. And so we've built time in the schedule, K-12, for teachers to look at data, student data, to look at what it is that is essential and students must know before they leave that grade level. And then they work toward getting every kid to know those, but at a deep level, rather than just, you used to have report cards that just would give you an A or a B or a C and you'd move on. And now we have standards-based report cards, kindergarten through now 5th grade and possibly 6th grade next year. We've rolled it up every year. So now a parent can look at a report card and say, instead of an A, I never knew what that meant, or B, did that mean my kid wasn't a good test taker and they did their homework, or vice versa, or they just didn't know one chapter, or they didn't study. Now they look, and we've got skills. And so we look and we have where they're assessed and what time they're assessed, and they're able to say, my kid does not know number sense, and that looks like this. My student can't identify these letters. My student doesn't know what a digraph is, and they can get some extra help from the teacher to work on that at home. Teachers no longer stop. If they assess and say they don't know digraphs, we move on. They no longer do that. If there's not a check mark in that report card, they go back and they reteach that student in small group until they know that, because it's an essential skill.
You know what this sounds like? I'm sitting here thinking, you've watched the NASCAR races, you see all the guys with a computer. Okay, that last lap we knocked off like 0.003 miles per hour. Let's add 4 PSI to the right front tire.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That is exactly
give it a little push to the left.
And not only that, but we have a video, he showed it back to school, where Indianapolis, how many years ago was it?
I think it was in the 50s.
The car rolls up and 4 people are allowed to work on it. And it said 60 seconds, but it was painful. It looked like it took 3 or 4 minutes. And now when they roll up, they stop, and it was like, it didn't even look like people had time to touch a tire. Everybody went, and that's where you look at teachers and all their talents and letting everybody come together to work.
There you go.
Far more effective.
Because in the pit, 15 seconds is too long.
It's too long.
Oh,
Yep.
both in Indy and NASCAR.
It wasn't. I couldn't even. I don't know what the time was, but they barely looked like they touched it, and the car was off. So that's the idea.
But yeah. So how do y'all come up with that?
It's
genius.
Honestly, it comes back to making every decision. I asked them the other day, what is their one filter? It's what's best for kids. If that is at your forefront all the time, what is best for kids, it doesn't matter if you're making a bus decision, if you're making a curriculum decision, if you're making a schedule decision. If it's what's best for kids, we're going to make it happen. So that's your only filter. So you just keep looking at it. What can we do different? The system has been set up as a wait and fail system. If a student was behind, but they didn't qualify for special ed, they have to be 2 full years behind to qualify for special ed.
2 full years?
2 full years.
Oh.
And so we had this wait and fail kind of system where you keep trying, but you've got all these standards that you're teaching, and you kind of have to keep going because everybody else needs to keep going. And so you're just kind of hoping, you're trying what you can. I mean, giving them everything they can to catch that kid up. But we at this point, we went back to what can we do to fill in those holes? What can we do to close those gaps? Because it's not okay to watch a kid wait and fail. And even though when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
I've never seen a staff work harder than the staff at Flippin. I know we have great schools in every area, but I'm in love with mine and my teachers.
That's good.
Preschool through 12th grade, it's student focused, and you just have to keep looking at what's going to make it better. There's no magic. If it was, I would have waved that wand 22 years ago.
Well, let me tell you what I've learned about myself. You see that jukebox over there in the corner? Okay. For instance, can you fix this? All I know how to do is put the quarter in and make it play. But literally, here's the book on this thing. You want to talk confusion? Read that book.
Right.
But yet,
technical manual. Yep.
Now I'm starting to understand. It's taken me 18 months.
Right.
But how do you make a kid? I had, and Scooter's helped me on it. He fixed the coin box on it, but yet both of us put our heads together. Let's try this, let's try that. And we've got a mechanical issue on it right now, but I look back into 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, had I just tried a little bit harder. Know what I'm trying to say? This I had to do because I got to get it out of here, Well,
and that's something that in the education world, that would be a real world connection. So you take a child's interest and you connect it to, you create that need to want to know. So there'll be an interest there.
You've got different, because you've got more poultry and cattle farms in Marion, and then on into Boone County. As you go east from here, you start getting to more cattle and crop. So there may be folks that are more tuned to be turkey farmers in the future. So I can see we're going to have to gear to the talents and what the interests of the kids are.
And going back to Johnny Key, I think that's something that he understands. We have spent a lot of time in the state of Arkansas over the years trying to fit everybody in the same box. And he sees that there are different needs in different areas of the state.
Peace, brother.
And has done he's done a good job of trying to expand what we're able to do and give everybody their own autonomy.
When I was in high school, I graduated in '76, and the counselor would come in, what are you going to do after high school? They were trying to sell me University of Arkansas. That wasn't me.
Right.
I spent 20 some odd years pounding ball joints out of cars and relining front ends, So, what do we got? Minute and a half?
Yep.
Final thoughts. Good to have you all here. Good to see everybody.
Final word. I think I just want to say, that we have a very supportive community, a lot of community support, parent support. I'm looking forward to, I tell my teachers every year, it comes cliche, but this is going to be the best year ever. And every year has been the best year to date. And like you said, just keep looking at students and individual student needs and forming those relationships. And
sit here and look at y'all's excitement. I've learned how to read people. Y'all are excited.
We are.
Yeah, I think y'all got a good thing going there.
We are. We have one thing we didn't mention is the relationship we have with ASU Mountain Home.
Oh yeah.
We're able to bring students over here, and they're graduating from Flippin with college credit or technical credit.
That's good.
My son just signed up for some welding classes as a senior, so he's going to take those this year, and Dr. Myers does a great job keeping us informed with businesses that are coming in and business needs, and it's been a great relationship.
I'm looking at the calendar real quick. First day of school, August 13th, and then here we go. Volleyball, volleyball, volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
Right off, hit the ground running.
Yep. Go Bobcats, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for being here. Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
y'all coming in. And Flippin Public Schools, great school district. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.